Welcome to the Legal View with Farah Farah. I'm Chuck Farah, and with me today is my partner Eddie Farah, and we're going to talk about how to determine the value of a personal injury case.
Thanks, Chuck. A lot of people always ask us, or we get this question every day, what is my accident claim really worth? And people think there's a formula for that, but actually if there were a formula, you wouldn't need a lawyer and you wouldn't need a trial to determine the value of the case. But generally a claim is worth the value of the damages that were inflicted upon the plaintiff. Some of these damages are easy to calculate. A lot of the economic losses are typically easy to arrive at. For instance, if you've missed work as a result of the accident, that damage can be calculated. If you've had medical bills as a result of the accident, those medical bills can be calculated and you can recover for those injuries or those damages. Of course, as the future damages, you're also able to recover. For instance, you may sustain a lost earning capacity. You may not be able to go back to your line of work as a result of the accident. Those are more economic losses that you can recuperate under Florida law. You also may sustain future medical expenses. You may have ongoing medical treatment, prescriptions, therapy, surgeries, and so on that you're able to collect under Florida law. A lot of times here at Farah Farah, when it comes to the future losses or future economic losses that our clients sustain, we hire what we call a life care planner who sits down with the client and with the client's doctors to determine what treatment that client's going to need for the rest of their life. And he's able to come up with a number that the client's able to recover for their losses. The other damages, of course, that our clients can collect are the human damages, the pain and suffering, the mental anguish, the loss of enjoyment of life. Under Florida law, you can also recover damages as a result of what the accident has done to affect the relationship between your family members. That's called a loss of consortium claim, and that's another available type of relief. But those are some of the typical damages or ways we calculate what a client's worth or what a client's claim is worth. Chuck, what else do you take into consideration?
Well, Eddie, you covered most of them, but some additional factors include the credibility of the client. How does a client come across? Is the client going to be able to explain how the accident or the incident affected his life and explain the extent of his injuries? The next thing we look to is the facts of the case. Facts are very important, and we really take a close look at the facts. We rely on our investigation that's done early on in the case. We rely on witness statements and the client's version. And also the physical evidence that we've collected to determine whether we have a good chance of proving that the other party was responsible for the accident.
What about where the accident happened? I mean, does that make a difference in what city it happened?
It does, and that you make a real good point, because when we determine the value of a case, we have to look forward and see, well, okay, if we're going to try this case, we're going to go in front of a jury, what county is that trial going to take place in? Because counties are made up of different people, and there's been data collected from verdicts that take place in counties around Florida, and we can determine whether some counties are more restricted on giving verdicts and others may be more liberal. So yes, that's a big factor in determining the value of a case.
What about the insurance company? Does it make a difference who the insurance company is or who the defense lawyer is
right.
in determining the value of the case?
Sizing up the defense attorney, the opponent. Sometimes the insurance company, how they handle claims in the past is good indication of how they're going to handle this particular case. And so we look to see how they've handled cases in the past, how their lawyers have handled cases in the past, and so that will go a long way in determining the value of a case.
Yeah.
So there are many parts to determining the value.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is no two cases are exactly alike, and all these factors go into determining the value of a claim.